Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with you, bringing you episode 355 of Inside the Force here towards the end of April here, as we get about a month away from Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars Celebration, which again, I am not going to, but I will be excitedly watching as everybody else is. So lots of news to get to right now, as well as a topic that I'm going to talk about at the end of the show, centered around some of these announcements here, which I'll go over, but centered around games. And something I was thinking about regarding the games, I wanted to kind of share on here, and of course love to get other people's opinions on it, so I'll get into that here shortly. But news wise, no new patrons to acknowledge, but just again, I want to acknowledge the patrons that have signed up. Really appreciate that, and hope we're giving you some good content on there. Definitely got some exclusive content about to drop on there, as well as some bonus content that you definitely won't get anywhere. So that stuff is definitely coming. So thank you again for the patrons that have signed up so far. And if you would like to join them and see more stuff from Inside the Force, go to patreon.com/Inside the Force. We got 4 tiers there, and hope you can find a good one. But if not, just keep coming back to youtube.com or all your podcast feeds. We're releasing, of course, episodes every week. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with us. Big news this week, of course, was the gaming announcement that Skydance New Media is making a new Star Wars game under the mainly under the leadership of a woman named Amy Hennig, which apparently she's produced a ton of games. I think most people would recognize her from Uncharted, which surprisingly is a game that I have never played. I know it's going to surprise a lot of people, but I don't have a PlayStation, and I think it's a PlayStation exclusive game, so I obviously have not played it. I am an Xbox owner, so I play everything on Xbox. So I wouldn't know. I've heard great things about Uncharted, so that is exciting. It's an action-adventure game, of course, and very excited about that. So that's the new announcement this week from Lucasfilm, and that is official. That was on StarWars.com, so this is definitely in development. This is definitely a game that's going to be getting worked on, and possibly, you never know, it could happen, but definitely can come out here maybe in a couple of years. That's the thing about these games. I almost wish they wouldn't announce them until maybe, within a year that they were coming out, because if it's in development, that's going to take a while. So we'll see where that goes. The Force Unleashed, if you remember that game, of course, the likeness of Sam Witwer playing Starkiller is just been released to Nintendo Switch. So if you've got a Nintendo Switch, you can play a new version of The Force Unleashed. Pretty sure it's the same game. Star Wars is actually, Lucasfilms is releasing a lot of these games on Switch. I know the Pod Racer game came out recently. I think it was called Jedi Academy is on there now. Force Unleashed now is on there now. So go check those out. I will be. My daughter's got a Switch, so I might. Force Unleashed was a fantastic game. I remember, it was said to somewhat be canon at the time, but it tells a huge story of basically the beginning of the rebellion. So it's really cool. Probably would have worked really well if it was canon, but obviously it doesn't now with Star Wars Rebels out there and all that stuff. So there's no way you can do that. But the character of Starkiller, I think, is something that should be explored. Possibly, you can still have that character kind of do those things. So definitely check that game out if you haven't played it already. It is fantastic. Let's see. Another StarWars.com announcement. Ewan McGregor definitely making an appearance at Celebration. I think that was inevitable, being that there's an Obi-Wan panel in a sense during the live action panel on, I believe it was on. Now I'm getting my days crossed, but I think it's on Thursday, the very first thing. So I'm sure he'll be there for that. Of course, the next day Obi-Wan debuts, so it makes sense that he's going to be there. Seen a lot of tweets of people, paying and reserving a time to go meet him and get their photo op and stuff like that. So, Ewan McGregor at Celebration, if you're going, definitely need to meet him. Natalie Holt, who I looked her up. She's a composer. She has been identified as the person composing Obi-Wan. Now, I don't see anything that I would really recognize except her most recent work. She's actually working on Batgirl, which is going to be an HBO Max movie, and she's worked on Loki. So definitely sounds like she's in with Disney. I don't see anything other Disney stuff, unless I just don't know what it is, Disney. But anyway, she's working on 6 episodes of Obi-Wan, so it's listed on her IMDb as 6 episodes. So we know that we're getting 6 episodes of Obi-Wan, so it looks like she's composed the entire series. Pretty cool. Congratulations to her, Natalie Holt. Hopefully it is good, but I can't imagine it not being good. That's one thing definitely these Disney Plus series I feel like have done is knock it out of the park as far as score. Mandalorian, of course, has been phenomenal. Book of Boba Fett was pretty good. Even if you go back as far as like season 7 of Clone Wars, phenomenal. So good scores. Natalie Holt joining that group of composers. Now let's get into a couple of rumored things that haven't fully been announced officially by Lucasfilm, but it's out there floating around. Apparently May the 4th, we're getting another Disney Gallery episode, of course, covering the Book of Boba Fett. So that obviously makes sense. I think last year we got the one from season 2 of The Mandalorian, if I believe correctly. That's when it came out, as well as the Bad Batch debuted, I think, May the 4th last year. So apparently this year we're getting the Book of Boba Fett's Disney Gallery. Makes sense. I think, again, May the 4th is going to be just that, I think. And maybe, I keep thinking maybe there's going to be another Obi-Wan trailer, but the more and more I think about it, it doesn't seem like that might. I feel like it has to be. Why would you wait? Because, 3 weeks later, I guess, is the series starts. So makes sense. So I would say this gallery thing, and then the Obi-Wan, a full Obi-Wan trailer is probably what we're going to get. So everything else will be saved for Celebration. So anyway, that's out there. It doesn't seem like I haven't found anything official for that. Other two things regard a couple Disney Plus series that haven't even come out yet. But season 2 of Andor is rumored to begin filming this fall, pretty much right around the time, I guess, that season 1 is debuting, which again is surprising. They are really stoked, apparently, for this series. To be able to green light a season 2 already without season 1 even coming out and no reaction, they must love this series. So anyway, that's the rumor. Season 2 will begin this fall, as well as the show The Acolyte. That is rumored to start shooting also in October. Very interesting and very cool. I mean, and makes sense. You know, by this time, by the fall, you will have Andor releasing, and then Mandalorian will be releasing in December probably. So it seems like if Ahsoka starts shooting this summer, which I guess there's a rumor that's happening, and you got Andor and you got Acolyte, so it sounds like we could have those 3 series debuting in 2023. You still have the Bad Batch getting fit in there somewhere, so not sure when that's coming out. And then you've got season 4 of The Mandalorian. Another, I don't think they're going to do another season of Book of Boba Fett, but maybe. I don't know. But it seems like they've got a couple of live action series, you know, lined up for 2023. Still no word, it seems like, of Lando. There's that droid series. I think that's animated though. And then of course you still have some rumored announcements of another animated series coming. So, which hopefully we might be hearing at Celebration as well. So lots in the pipeline, it sounds like. What's not in the pipeline yet that we know of are films, which is going to be a little bit about my topic coming up here soon. So that's really the rumored news. Acolyte, which pretty excited about that being, you know, High Republic era. And, of course, Andor season 2. Sorry, I had to take a little drink there. Clear my throat. It's tough, you know, doing these things by yourself a little bit because I don't want to have any downtime, you know, or take big breaths and have gaps in my talking. So I'm constantly talking here. Anyway, no problems though. All good. Anyway, yeah, Acolyte, excited about that. Excited about where that's going. You know, me and Corey are doing this series called Dark Knowledge now, where we're kind of diving into dark side of the Force kind of thing. And we're going to be talking about acolytes and stuff like that at some point. But we got some episodes in the can that we're going to be releasing here soon. So look for that. But Andor, I'm excited about Andor, actually. I think that part of the timeline I'm pretty interested in. I loved Rogue One. I loved Diego Luna's Cassian Andor. I think that's going to be a good series. So I'm definitely excited for that. Not more than Obi-Wan, though. Obi-Wan's the top of the list right now for me. Still. Okay, so that is it on the news. I will mention that Lego Star Wars, you know, Skywalker Saga is out there. I'm playing that, so I'm actually going to continue playing that as soon as I get done with this episode. And I'm liking it. Definitely liking it. I feel like it's a little bit glitchy than I've seen in other Lego games, but glitchy meaning that it's I don't know. This is like when some of the transitions are a little off, but But I'm really just early into it. I started with episode 1, and I'm still on episode 1, so I'm not even that far into the game as most people are. But I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to work a little bit on it this weekend. So anyway, all right, let's talk about publishing. Got some, of course, the upcoming novels is still the same list. May 10th here shortly. That means only a couple more weeks for that. You got that book Brotherhood with Anakin and Obi-Wan. Shadows of the Sith in June 28th. Padawan, July 26th. Princess and the Scoundrel, August 16th. And then you got your two High Republic novels, Convergence on October 4th and Path of Deceit November 1st. So those are your novels. And then, of course, comics. Now, I will say that my comics list that I gave you guys probably the last couple of weeks has not been accurate. I feel like the source I was getting those from wasn't updating as often as probably it should have been. So I actually went to the source and direct source of Marvel and got these solicitation dates. So now this should be more accurate. Nothing actually came out this past week on the 20th. I had listed that Halcyon Legacy number 3 and Crimson Reign number 4 were coming out. That didn't happen. Now, it could be that these got delayed also, and I'm not sure, but I feel like I don't feel like that's the case. But anyway, next week you've got Crimson Reign number 4 on April 27th. So that's all you got coming out next week. Then, of course, May the 4th is a week from then, a week from Wednesday. Obi-Wan number 1 hits and Star Wars 23 hits. And then you've got on May 11th, you've got Han Solo and Chewbacca number 2, Legacy, Halcyon Legacy number 3, Dr. Aphra 20. And I don't think there's, that's the thing is I don't think there's anything else in May coming because I didn't see anything up until June 1st, which is you've got Vader 23 and Bounty Hunters 23. And then later on in June, you got Chrysanthemum number 1 coming out, Mandalorian number 1, Crimson Reign number 5, which wraps up that series on June 22nd. And then Obi-Wan number 2 doesn't come out till June 22nd. So there's a pretty big gap between 1 and 2 on Obi-Wan. So anyway, like I said, I'm trying to get caught up. I'm actually going to read a bunch of comics this weekend. I'm going to try to get caught up so I can start doing some weekly reviews on Patreon with the comics that are coming out. So I'm definitely getting caught up with those. That's going to be fun. Give you guys some more Patreon content. Okay, let's get into this brief topic I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit regarding the games. A lot of this game announcement with Skydance kind of made me think about what was coming. And, right now, I believe I've got this list correct. But right now, the games that are in development from Lucasfilm Games right now, we know definitely, because we got a little teaser trailer of it, we know definitely that Star Wars Eclipse is coming. We've got this game that just got announced from Skydance. We've got the Knights of the Old Republic, the KOTOR game, getting remade. I'm not sure exactly what that means yet, but it seems like they're going to remake it and canonize it. And then here you got Respawn making 3 games. Besides Fallen Order 2, you've got an open world game. You've got I think the open world game is somebody else. So you got the open world game, and then you've got 3 from Respawn. You got Jedi Fallen Order 2. You've got this first person shooter game that's coming, and you've got a strategy game that's coming. So that is 7 games apparently in development. Meaning that if they started these now, probably wouldn't get these things started until 2025, 2026, something like that, a couple of years. or unless they were working on these for a while now and just now starting to announce it, which I hope is the case. Because these games, let's just say best case scenario, they start rolling out in 2024, maybe 2025. We'll have several games to play over the course of a couple of years probably, right? So it kind of brought up a thought that, right now we're lacking news on any kind of new theatrical films that Lucasfilm's putting out. I do think there'll be some announcement at Celebration on what's going to happen with live action movies. You still got Taika Waititi's apparent film. You've got Patty Jenkins with Rogue Squadron. And then, of course, you still have the possibility of Rian Johnson's movies out there. But who else is making movies? Is anybody else making movies? Are they going to start maybe trying to go back to pumping these out once a year? I sure hope so. But my mind started going in circles around. I love to hear someone else's opinion on this, but my thoughts started going around thinking, what would I rather have? Games or films? I think that's an interesting discussion because based on what some of these games are, I am actually leaning towards the games. Now, hear me out a little bit, because I know some of you probably are like, what? Jedi Fallen Order was phenomenal. I love those types of games where, it's somewhat mix of strategy, somewhat mix of adventure. Of course, the excitement of being a Jedi and going around with a lightsaber is pretty awesome. I don't think that game is necessarily considered open world. So I do like the idea of an open world game where I can go anywhere and do anything, and of course, do side missions and whatever. But that excites me the most. So whatever that open world game that's coming out, I'm probably going to be into that more than anything. I'm not a huge gamer, and I definitely wasn't huge into some of those other open worlds. I feel like that are described by like World of Warcraft. There was another one, but I can't remember its name, but games where you can just get immersed in it and do stuff. I would play that if it's Star Wars for sure. I'm definitely interested in the KOTOR game. Star Wars Eclipse looks pretty incredible, whatever that's going to be. Of course, I want a Jedi Fallen Order 2. First-person shooter games, I actually dig those. I was big on Halo and Gears of War, so love those types of games. Don't know what this first person is going to be like. It sounds like it might be something like a Smuggler or something like that. And of course, strategy games are always good. I don't know what they mean by that. Might be more of a, going around solving things and advancing. So that strategy sounds like more like a Dr. Aphra type game, where you're an archaeologist and you're going around having to solve puzzles and outsmart traps and everything, try to get your artifacts. That would actually be pretty neat. So I'll be down for that. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like these games I'm listing that are apparently in development, every one of those games sounds phenomenal. I'm in it for the story. I'm not really in it for the multiplayer. I did play Battlefront, the first Battlefront game, which was only multiplayer. I did play the hell out of that, just because it was the first real good Star Wars game like that, So definitely got into that a lot and played that a lot. Battlefront 2 was awesome. I didn't play the multiplayer that much, because there was that campaign storyline. So I definitely did that. And that was very, very awesome. So I'm in it for the stories. So it doesn't sound like any of these are going to be multiplayer. Multiplayer in the sense where you kind of battle royale it out. That's what Fortnite's for, right? Which I don't play. But I mean, I guess you could do the first-person shooter game. Will probably maybe have a multiplayer aspect to it. But it just, again, comes down to games versus films. What would you rather have? I'm not saying that you'd have to choose if they had to get rid of one, but what do what would you be more excited for? Playing these types of games, like 6 or 7 games coming out, or the 2 or 3 movies over the course of 4 or 5 years that they're apparently maybe doing. That's tough because part of me is definitely leaning towards the games, because I can sit here in my own house, I can kick back and just enjoy the Star Wars universe and experience that story, which most of these, let's face it, most of them are theatrical storylines. I mean, I love when, and I haven't seen it, but I'm sure someone's online has done this, but like, you could probably get on YouTube and find the cutscenes for Jedi Fallen Order. So you can pretty much watch it like a movie in a sense, right? That's what I'm interested in. Basically playing the movie, not just watching the movie. So now I definitely want movies. I wish they would have stuck with the 1 year, one movie a year philosophy that they kind of started down. But man, we're not getting any movies now. I mean, we haven't had a movie since 2019. It's almost been 2 years. It's almost been 3 years. It's 2.5 years. So, man, I mean, the movies. I mean, obviously Star Wars movies are rewatchable. You can always watch a Star Wars movie. At least I can. But, man, replaying a game is almost way better. So I don't know. I think the fully answer to that, I need to know what films are coming. You know what I mean? Because we got kind of an idea what these games are that are coming in development. If I knew, if they at Celebration announced, the Patty Jenkins movie is definitely coming. Here's the Taika Waititi movie, it's coming. Here's what Rian Johnson's working on. I don't know. Then I might get excited about the films and not so much think about these games. But I don't know if they're going to do that, because at the same time, I feel like they're going to have I bet you they're going to have this Lucasfilm Games panel at Celebration. They're going to go over all of these. They're going to show some footage probably of Jedi Fallen Order 2, probably KOTOR, maybe more from Eclipse, but the other ones probably don't have much to show except maybe some concept art. So we're going to get a lot of news about games, and hopefully they match that with the announcement of films. So then I could properly make that call. But right now I'm definitely leaning towards being more excited about the games. Because this is, again, just the storyline of these games is what draws me in. Very interested about Star Wars Eclipse. Obviously, that's being High Republic. So that era has really grown on me, and I think a lot of people are catching wind of that era. So, but any of these games, man, the first person shooter, like I said, is exciting. I like those types of games. And then Jedi Fallen Order 2, obviously following up Cal Kestis. Just very exciting. I am very excited about the games. I wish they would get here. I tell you what else is not what I want, is not on this list, or not that I even heard of coming, is more VR games. I love the VR games. Love the 3-episode series of Vader Immortal. I've been playing Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Still not fully finished with that one, but in the middle of playing that. And those are awesome games. And I feel like VR is just going to keep getting better. Again, I do feel like they'll probably announce something. They got to stay on the VR probably. So it's been a while since the upgrade for Tales came out. So hopefully there's more VRs coming, more VR games coming. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say about it. I think I was just thinking, like, we just haven't heard anything on the film side for a while. And maybe that's intentional, but pretty weirded out by that a little bit, why they haven't. I guess what they're doing is putting all their money in these Disney Plus series, which is fine. I mean, we're getting kind of mini movies with each one of these episodes, so in the end, I guess that's going to be really good. But now that we're getting out of this pandemic and things are opening back up, it is time to get in the theater. It is time to see another Star Wars movie in the theaters. So as I talk about that, I kind of get excited about that too, So anyway, what do you all think? Let me know. That'd be great to kind of see what people's thoughts are on that, game or films. Which one would you not enjoy more, but really just what are you excited more for, the games or the films? That's pretty much the question. I think that's pretty interesting topic. So all right, that will do it as I wrap up here. Of course, always I try to acknowledge some comments from you guys. Of course, our last episode, Thrawn Addict. Thank you, Thrawn Addict, who is a master patron. You should see your name at the back of these videos now, so appreciate that, sir. Of course, he says thanks for the shout out last week on the episode. Always been fantastic. He basically says, saying, had to support the best Star Wars channel podcast out there. Always been fantastic discussions, theories, and opinions, as well as doing me a huge favor when letting me know when comics/books are being released. So thank you. Absolutely. That's awesome. And really thanks about the comment, obviously, had to support us. That's great to know. And I hope I keep delivering for you guys, especially you, Thrawn Addict, our master patron. So yeah, it's awesome. Yes, comics and books, definitely going to get more into, try to keep as accurate as I can with that, and get more into, Beyond the Sagas with Hannah, where we just released Aftermath, the final book in Aftermath, which it's been a while since that last one came out. Kind of forgot we did those and didn't know, because, at the time Hannah hadn't read it yet. So I had her kind of get through that so we can get that done. So interesting going back and, refreshing my memory on the Aftermath series. Fantastic series of books by Chuck Wendig, and pretty major to the overall timeline now. Like I said, it's pretty interesting to go back and revisit that, because, with all the content that's come out now beyond the Battle of Endor, for example, obviously the sequel trilogy, and of course the Mandalorian. It's an interesting book that lines up really well, obviously, even though it came out before all that stuff. So if you haven't checked out the Aftermath series, I would definitely do that. Go check that out. And the Mandalore podcast, of course, that's the podcast I do with Cyber Ren over there, Martin Donison. That's his show. I just kind of co-host in it. We do deep dives in all the Disney Plus series, so we're coming back once Obi-Wan debuts. But we are doing a live show this weekend If you wanted to kind of check that out, it's if you go to the Mandalore podcast Facebook page, you can kind of see that. He's in Canada, just outside Alberta, I think, and I think that's right. Can't remember. But anyway, he's up there. There's a con going on up there, so he's going to dial me in. I'm going to dial in and do a show right there from the convention. So it's going to be fun on Saturday afternoon. Let's see. And then, of course, we got some council sessions and more Beyond the Sagas Master of the Order. I got a great Master of the Order coming up. Probably mid-May. I'll probably put that out. Got a great one coming up for that. That's going to be fun to talk to this gentleman. And I'm going to keep it a secret who that is, but it's going to be pretty cool. And then you've got, like I said, Dark Knowledge. More Dark Knowledge is coming. So Patreon, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Inside the Force. Pick a tier there. Got some exclusive content on there coming your way. Lots of that stuff. So go check it out if you want to help support the show. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Again, thanks to our patrons for supporting us. And thanks for everybody else for listening and being with us. 355 episodes. Crazy. And we are, again, just about a month away from Obi-Wan and getting some great discussions about that series. Star Wars Celebration as well that weekend. Lots to talk about coming up here in just a few short weeks. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend and a great next week. See you back here next week. Have a good one, guys. May the Force be with you.